One of the things I wanted to talk about, though, is where you live, I think matters a lot. And what I mean by that is I don't mean that you have to have this fancy like mansion or have a crazy house or anything, but just location-wise, living where you want to live, I think is way more important than having a nice house. You know, we live in Orange County in Costa Mesa. We're close to the beach. Knowing that it's there for us, for both of us, I think that just kind of gives us a calm. And
welcome back to The Broke Billionaires, where we document our daily struggles in building wealth while raising a young family. Join us as we talk creative wealth building for everyday people and couples that are struggling in a down economy. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Joshua Masari, and we'll be your hosts.
Welcome back. Episode 35, coming to you from our new backyard.
Hopefully there's not too much wind noise.
No.
Noise.
In our backyard, instead of in Ravello, Italy, where we should have been celebrating our dear friends Ethan and Sherry, who were on episode 10, our first guests. They got married this weekend. That was a tough one to miss. We just want to say a huge congratulations to them, and we love you guys, and we are so sorry that we could not have been there to celebrate with you.
Yeah, it's a bummer we couldn't make it. We were really looking forward to this too, and
for years. This has been like 3 years in the making, this wedding.
And we didn't know that we were gonna at that time we didn't know we were gonna have a third kid, did we? Were we pregnant with?
Nope. I think we told them we were pregnant with our third one after. Yeah,
and then we had a fourth kid, and
2 kids later,
and we're broke. And I think it's more the kids than the broke thing, because we actually figured out.
Well, the broke thing was kind of still tricky.
Yeah, but we figured it out. We would have had flights paid for with points. We have exchange points. We had a place to stay. Like, we may not have been staying in the hotel we wanted to be in, but like we could have financially made it work, but not with 4 kids, because we don't have anybody to leave 4 kids with. And
I was going to leave a 2-month-old. I'm still nursing.
Or we would have had to travel with an 18-month-old and a 2-month-old, and it's just more than we wanted to take on. I don't think it would have been as enjoyable as we originally anticipated this trip being.
Yeah, in so many ways.
Yeah.
But we are so happy for them. It was beautiful from everything we've seen, and just so excited for them.
And I think saying this on here, just like notating this, I think we need to focus on getting ourselves, obviously we're trying to improve everything in our lives, but getting ourselves to a point where we don't ever miss something like this that we really want to be a part of or really want to do.
This one was tough. Yeah. This was really tough.
But just getting ourselves to a place, financially and with, the family, and just having things in place to be able to leave for a week. We don't have we don't have the help that we could just do that. So
no.
I think just getting ourselves to a place where we have the ability to do that. Everything's been so crazy and hectic the last couple of years with all the houses and having kids and everything. We just haven't really been able to organize our lives to be able to up and leave like that for a period of time. So I just
I think we know that there's seasons, and this is not our traveling season, but to miss out on a life event like that.
It's our normal traveling season time of the year, but not in the time of our life.
No, I mean, the life season is what I meant, of early kids. But I think... I'm
just saying, this is usually when we're in Europe or doing a big
definitely.
trip.
But to miss out on such a large life event for such close friends, that one really hurt. So that was definitely goals to not ever miss out on something like that again.
Yeah.
And get to Ravello at some point. Which actually kind of brings me to my next point. Like you were saying, I have a new summer anthem, like a song that I listen to that I think is kind of part of my inspiration for tonight and part of what I'm going to just kind of have on repeat. 4 kids is no joke. And we're feeling it, especially in summer when the kids are out of school and wanting to be out and doing things. And it's hard with a newborn. That's hard in general, but then add in like the fact that we just moved and we're not fully settled yet and still have the broke component to it. Like there's a lot of things. And it's been not the summer.
Well, by the way, the broke component, like we just had to pay for tuition for our oldest.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
And it's just like another thing getting thrown at us. Like we just can't take one step. I feel like we take a couple steps backwards to try to take a step forward, but
yeah,
it's like just can't get a
it's
break
well, it's
right
just
now.
every little thing coming in
it's just
is already so accounted for and goes right out that
I mean, life's coming at us really fast. And now we got 2 kids that are going to be in school this year. So we got 2 kids we got to figure out how to pay for.
Yeah. So it's been not the summer that I had hoped before our oldest starts kindergarten. I think you kind of have I had these big plans that are clearly unrealistic with having a newborn. And the kids have been tough. They're in a fighting phase. This has been like a tough month, I would say for sure. So I heard this song. Let's see if you know it. Are you going to let them hold you down and make me cry? Don't you know things can change? Things will go your way if you hold on for one more day. Can you hold on for one more day? Things will go your way if you hold on for one more day.
No, never heard of it.
Probably better if I would sing it, but I'm not going to sing it on here. Hold on for one more day. Does that sound familiar at all?
No.
From Bridesmaids? No, really? Okay, Wilson Phillips, Hold On. It's like definitely an older song, 80s. But you really don't know that song?
No.
Oh my gosh, I play it a lot. Well, the Hold On is kind of my summer anthem now because the kids have been making me cry a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And I just feel like it fits for the motherhood phase, our broke phase right now, our getting settled phase. Everything's just kind of chaotic. So
yeah, chaotic is definitely our life right now.
I wasn't expecting that to be my word for 2025, but it's definitely the word that's coming out pretty strong.
Yeah.
So
I will say that one of the things, so this new house that we're in now, we're not settled, but we're getting there. I spent the whole last weekend, this weekend, building closets. We had the old wire rack closets, and now we've got the upgraded IKEA closets, which, by the way, that is I think we might have mentioned this before, but if you have a house, whether it's your primary or investment property, and you've been thinking of getting upgraded closets, like, the standard, at least where we live, they're all like mirrored closets. That's kind of what they come with. Either that or like bifold doors, or just like old school, have been there since the 80s or 70s or even the 60s if they're original. Closets are expensive. So if you go to like, Closet World, I think is probably one of the big ones. I think it might be a national company, but you see all these advertisements for 50% off Labor Day, blah, 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 whatever. And you get the 50% off price and it's still like $12,000 for one room closets. Like,
so
it's
crazy.
Insane. And I think that's just the expectation. That's what that stuff costs. Cause it's not something you can really build yourself because it's a little complicated and whatnot. But what the hack that we've figured out is that you can build these with IKEA. IKEA has what's called the PAX, the PAX system, and you can build out your closet. It's not as customized as maybe Closet World because they'll be able to make the exact size. So you can't get exactly, but there's a lot of configurations and several different box sizes to be able to get pretty darn close. And then, so what we've done is in some of our properties, well, actually all of our properties, we put these in now, we'll put them in and then I'll go and I'll trim it out and put baseboards across the bottom, so you can't tell that there's multiple pieces, and it makes it look, through the sides and the top, it makes it look very finished, and it looks built in.
Yeah.
And it's really, quality wise, it's IKEA.
It's
and
pretty good.
IKEA gets a bad name because it's
Yeah.
pain to put together and it's cheap quality, but some of their stuff is actually pretty decent. And I mean, it's not made of solid wood, but neither of the ones from Closet World. They're particle board too. So we've had really good luck with these. We haven't had any break or fall apart or anything. And we've been using these for several years now. But
and we put them in our kids' rooms too, and they are rough on these doors and everything.
Yeah,
like they are not easy on them.
They hold up pretty well. And you can get if you got like a standard size master bedroom closet, in the area that we're in, it's probably like, I don't know, 8 feet wide, probably like a double two sliding doors and 8 feet wide. It's kind of like the standard closet, not a non-walk-in. And you're looking about $1,500 for all the parts, and you can configure it however you want. But
that's what I like about it, is how you can configure it so many different ways.
So we'll usually do like doors in the bottom. So we'll get drawers in the bottom. So it's like a built-in dresser, and then we've got hanging up top, and then on the very top there's a shelf for shoes or whatever. And then we'll do like we've got a smaller box in the middle that's got shoes. So it's got like shoe shelves, and you can get these really customized, and it's a lot better than.
And some of them drawers are really nice. Like they have like these shallow drawers for like your jewelry. I do like my sunglasses, like things like that, and it, like a nice clear top. Like it looks nice.
Yeah, it's got a glass top. So so it actually, like, when it's all said and done,
it looks really good.
It looks good. It functions well, and it's a really good way to get a built-in closet. So I know, like, I always wanted built-in closets, and it was like just couldn't justify the cost, and so I just never did it, and just stuck with what I had, put wire racks in there, and just always just kind of dealt with it. But since we've figured out this IKEA hack, it's like it's not that expensive. You spend half a day putting it together, and then you've got your semi-custom closets.
And the wire racks don't break. They don't fall down half in the middle of the night with all your clothes.
Because
every single house that's happened to me until we've done
puts 4,000 pounds of clothes on these wire rack closets, and they just can't.
Where else am I supposed to put them? It's like I just wait for the crash. I just know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's so bad.
Anyway, shout out to IKEA. We're not getting paid for this advertisement, but
if you want to sponsor us, we're open to it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a huge it's just a huge upgrade without spending a whole lot of money. So, it may not be as nice as the other ones, may not have all the finishes and options that you can get with some of those more expensive companies, but you're literally getting it for 20% of the cost.
Yeah.
Less.
They look good. A lot of work putting them together.
Yeah, it's IKEA, so it's still a lot of work putting them together. But
do you feel like you have it down now?
I do. It's a lot.
Pretty quick.
It's a lot quicker now.
I mean, the boys were helping you, and it still went pretty quick.
Yeah,
that usually slows things down.
It's I put together probably 30 of these boxes now between all 3 houses.
Yeah,
so I'm getting pretty efficient at it. I could almost start an IKEA closet installation company at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, that was a little
side note.
Yeah, a little side note there.
So something else cool that happened this week, we had some friends of ours that are buying a house and own a business, and ran into kind of some things with their loan, and called us kind of last minute, seeing if we had any ideas to help them, and for a non-traditional loan, and ended up, sounds like it's all going to work out for them. But I thought it was, this happened to them and they were kind of stressed out, and we were the first ones that popped into their mind, and that was pretty cool, because they knew they remembered hearing us talk about it on one of our episodes. What did we say? It was episode 3. 3 is what we had talked about. Kind of the non-traditional loans, and I mean, we talked exactly about what they ended up doing.
Yeah, the loan that fit their scenario was one of the exact things that we did talk about on that episode.
Kind of cool.
So,
yeah, we'll have to.
I mean, and we've been through it. Like, we've done these loans, and so we've had the experience, and I think people know that we've gotten creative in a lot of our deals, or we've had to. So we've kind of picked up on a lot of different things.
We don't fit in the box.
Yeah, we're not.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's true.
But especially in that way. What else?
So this week actually had some issues with a contractor, not just a contractor, I would say property management and contractor in Texas. We have this apartment building and we've never been there. And I've got property management in place and they've got contractors, and I've always just used their contractors because they were a trusted property management company. And, I interviewed multiple companies and this one seemed to be the most professional and seemed to be the most trusted. So went with them, but found out a lot of things this week that I was pretty disappointed in, both in the contractor that they were using and the property management company. Just found out that so we're setting up one of these units as a midterm furnished rental. And so now I've got some partners in that kind of helping out to get it set up. And I'm finding out all these things, like things that weren't done correctly, just like lazy contractor shortcuts.
That look horrible.
They look horrible. And I never knew because property management supposedly went and walked and checked the work and signed off on it. And I've seen pictures, but they were like, the listing pictures are far back pictures, so you can't really see details of things. And I just assumed that they were doing what they were supposed to do and checking and paid out the contractor because it looked correct. But come to find out, there's all kinds of things that were just not done right. Baseboards weren't completed or done right, and flooring. There was a flooring thing that wasn't done right. I mean, just like horrible stuff. Like if I had seen this. Like if I was physically there and had seen this, I would have said, you're not getting paid until you get this done correctly.
It would have been ripped out and started all over again.
Yeah. So the fact that the property management, and I let them know, they got a lot of heated emails from me this week, but the fact that they were signing off on this work when it was clearly not done right really frustrated me. And I let them know. And I fired, I'm like, we're not, we need to fire this contractor. We're not, and this is like their main guy. I'm like, we're not using, I'm like, this is terrible work. This is absolutely unacceptable. I can't believe you guys use this guy and actually pay him out and say that this is quality work or okay.
The fact that they paid him out, that's really frustrating.
Yeah. So now I'm having to find my own contractors that actually know what they're doing. And when it comes to flooring, if you don't do flooring right, it can cause a lot of problems. Like you have to do it. Especially if you're doing a floating floor, it's got to be done right. You want it to look good and you want to make sure it doesn't cause problems down the road. So having to pay somebody to redo something that was done wrong that I already paid to have done is just extremely frustrating. So I don't know. I will probably be looking to take some course of action to get some recoup some of those losses. But it's really important to have somebody when you're investing in real estate out of state that you know and trust to actually inspect the stuff. Property management companies aren't always the greatest at this, which, that's my bad for not having somebody in place to be able to check
hard.
that.
We're not on the ground.
And we don't have anybody
we're
there.
Multiple states away.
Yeah, and this is a new market for us, so we didn't have any contacts. Like in South Carolina, we have a lot of contacts.
You had a personal contact that you
so I've never had that problem because I've always had somebody there to check things, but this
we didn't have that there.
A little different. And finally getting somebody in there that could FaceTime and just show me things up close, take up close photos, which I never got. It was kind of infuriating on a lot of these things that were done wrong. So having to deal with that, but just making sure that you have somebody you know and trust and somebody that can go over and check things. And because a property management company, their specialty is not construction, so they may not even know the difference. They may just think that's supposed to look like that,
right?
Which
I don't know how you could look at that and be like, oh, yeah, that looks good. Yeah. It was really bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There was bad baseboards.
I will also say you pay extra attention to detail. Like there's things.
Well, I do the work myself too, so I know how to do it. So I know how it's supposed to be done, and so I do pay a little closer attention.
But I feel like I'm someone who pays pretty good attention to detail, but you're like on a whole other level with it. So.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the issues, there was a repair. There was some damaged flooring in one of these units in the bedroom. And so they had to rip the flooring out and redo it. And instead of removing the baseboards like you're supposed to, pulling out the flooring and tying it in to where it's coming out of the hallways, they just basically cut it at the hallway, like cut it out and just pulled everything out, didn't even remove the baseboards, put new flooring down, didn't even run it underneath the baseboards because they didn't remove it. So there's gaps all the way around that you can see along the baseboards. And then between the hallways, there's just like a crack, like a transition. They didn't even put a T-mold down. They just left this crack, like clearly had no clue what they're doing. A licensed contractor, totally clueless, has no idea what he's doing. And property management signed off and paid him. So
Yeah, that was bad.
yeah, so I got to find somebody to redo this, properly tie in the planks so that everything, like when the repair is done like that, you shouldn't see that a repair was done.
No.
It should not be obvious. And I know because we had this done on our property we just finished.
Yeah.
It's the same flooring, and they had to rip half of it out and tied it all back in. And
it looked amazing. You never would have known.
Never know. So there's a big difference. And how much you pay somebody doesn't make any difference. The guys that we use are very
the installation
fairly
is the installation. That shouldn't
right. It's whether you know what you're doing or not.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that we use in Orange County, they're very fair pricing and they're incredibly good and like just do a really good job. So, I've said this before. Like, just because a contractor's licensed doesn't mean he knows what he's doing. Like, there's probably plenty of unlicensed contractors.
Just because they charge a lot also doesn't mean they know what they're doing.
Exactly. I mean, there's probably a lot of unlicensed guys that do a better job,
Yeah.
but you get stuck between the licensed and unlicensed. But I think some contractors just think because they're licensed, they can just do whatever they want and get away with it. It's like, no, that's not.
I mean, we've felt that moving back in here. I mean, there were things that we're seeing now that we're back in this house that we're like, oh wow, that was not done.
Well, I did a lot of that.
Well, but I'm not talking about this. Yeah, I know. We mentioned that your caulking skills have come a long way.
There's a lot of things.
But there's things that the contractor did that we've even started to notice, and we're like, oh wow, that was not his best work. Not like we would have caught this now. We
knowing what we know now.
Knowing what we know now. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
Let's see. We got this is kind of an interesting little tidbit, I guess. Even though we're broke, I've said this like in the last episode, I think our net worth still has held. It's actually increased since we've started the show. So we've continued to go in the right direction in building our wealth. It's just a cash flow issue that we're trying to correct at this point.
We're trying to get cash flow.
I'm trying to get cash flow. trying to get to zero would be great. If then we can start working on
get out of the
positive.
red. Yeah.
But I saw some interesting stats tonight that this is according to a Forbes article that was recently published. The top one in the U, and this is just for the U.S., the top 1%, so the top 1% per net worth in the U.S.
I have to stop you just right there for a second because I'm just realizing this. We didn't say this, but we're recording outside tonight by our fire pit, and I can smell the bakery. Can you smell that right now?
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to figure that out while you were just talking.
Oh,
it
interesting.
is a bakery right behind us.
So it's 11 o'clock at night right now.
They're baking croissants, and I want one so bad.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before. I guess they get started pretty.
That smells so good.
They just bake all through the night?
I guess so. I don't know.
Interesting.
Okay, sorry. I just.
All right. So back to the topic at hand. So for the U.S., for net worth, the top 1% of net worth in the U.S. is only $11.6 million, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I would have thought it would have been higher.
I would have thought so too.
I don't know. I didn't have like a number in mind, but I definitely would have thought it would have been higher.
Yeah,
than
well,
that.
when you're talking about total population, it's not something that is, it's not skewed by, people that are worth $300 billion.
Right.
The Elon Musks aren't skewing it because it's not. You're not talking dollar. You're just talking about people. So, I would have thought that it was still would have thought it was higher. But,
yeah.
And then so this one is actually Yahoo Finance had this one because this metric was missing from the Forbes article, but the top 2% is 2.7 million above, which we actually, oddly enough, we apparently fall into the top 2% of net worth households in the U.S. Just can't pay our bills right now.
But we cannot pay our bills, barely buy groceries, but we're in the top 2%.
It just goes to show that like net worth and
cash flow
are not the same thing.
No.
At all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, like you hear this all the time, but like I remember Elon Musk when he was in LA, like this is probably about 10 before everything kind of blew up, but this was maybe 7-8 years ago, or like I think it was right before the Model 3 released, and Tesla wasn't turning a profit yet, but it was a very highly valued company, and he had he couldn't pay a mortgage on his on his residence in LA. Because he wasn't paying himself, he didn't have actual cash to pay, and he had to like leverage something, pull money on one of his properties to pay the mortgage on his primary.
Yeah.
So it's, doesn't really have to do with how much money you have or what level you're at. Like cash flow is not the same thing as building wealth. But running down this Forbes article, like the next, so top 5% is 1.17 million. And there is some play in this because the data is not 100%, like they don't have that data. Like it was kind of more based on surveys and general population, but it was 1.17 to like 1.9. That was kind of a range. It's like they say it should somewhere in here is where the top 5% is, but still like
right.
I still would have thought, because there's a lot of millionaires in the US.
Yeah.
I think, I don't remember. I want to say it's like 38 million, something like that. 30 million, something.
Millionaires?
Yeah, in the US. Or maybe it's a little less, I guess, if that puts you in the top 5%. But yeah, so somewhere between 1.7 and 1.9 million is where the number is. But yeah, if you have a million net worth, you're pretty close to the top 5% in the US, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is.
And then going down the line, so they had 10% and 25%, but 10% was 970K, so just under a million. So it sounds like there's a lot of the population that's right around that million mark. But still, that's a millionaire is not what it used to be.
Yeah,
we talked about that recently, so it's not like as big of a milestone as it used to be. But if at a million net worth, and you're going to be in that top 5 to 10% of households.
So what would you say someone that would argue that a net worth is not as important then as just having cash?
Well, you're building long-term financial freedom, long-term wealth. You're, having cash flow or having cash now may make things more comfortable today, but that's not long-term. What happens
not sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, if you have just cash you're sitting on, you're living off that, it's going to disappear. If you've got cash flow from a business or your job or whatever, that's not guaranteed forever. Things come up and go up and down, and
which is what we've been going through. I mean, that's what happened.
Down cycle,
we were
for sure.
We were in, obviously, like we keep saying, we were in a very comfortable position, and things with your business changed, and
yeah,
it's just it happens.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely net worth is more of a long-term generational thing. You're building for the future. I mean, eventually you pull on it and you can live off that, but
can't wait for that day.
Yeah. I mean, like retirement accounts, like you don't want to start drawing on those until you don't have to pay the fee, which is going to be at 59.5 or greater. And a lot of our properties, we're just dumping all of our money into it, and we're just trying to get them to cash flow enough to cover the expenses. I mean, they're cash flowing a little bit, but we have so many mortgages with everything because we leverage one property.
Yeah, there's a lot of expenses that come along with it. So I think that's the other thing too, is like, I mean, I've said this so many times, but people think like, oh, you just own these houses and you rent them out, like you must be making so much money. It's like,
well, yeah, people don't think about their mortgages. They just think, oh, you rent this house.
They're not free and clear.
Yeah,
like there's a large mortgage on all of them. So
yeah.
It's not.
And in most cases,
oh my gosh, those croissants! I'm like gonna go tomorrow and get one. Okay, sorry.
I don't like the smell of them, so I don't know why you're freaking out.
I'm loving this right now.
I'm not a big croissant person. I just lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
All right, I don't know what I was gonna say.
We were talking about pulling on your. I don't know, actually.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Lost it. Let's see. What else are we talking about tonight?
Well, we're going to go and talk, well, kind of the song that, what was the title of that song?
Hold on.
It's just Hold On.
Just hold on, yes. You
So
might be the only person that doesn't know this.
maybe if I actually heard it like the
It's
actual
the end scene in Bridesmaids.
I don't even know what that movie is.
What? Yes, you do. Absolutely, you do. Where she, what's herself in the middle of the street?
Oh yeah, I know what that movie is.
Yes.
That's the only part of the movie I remember.
Yes, but you don't remember the end where they're dancing it's so good.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think I watched it all the way through.
Probably not.
So, finding the strength to hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely trying to daily.
You're doing a much better job than I am.
Daily basis to find the strength to just keep doing what we're doing and hold on, because we know things will get better. We just don't know when they're going to get better.
I mean, we've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us thought we'd still be sitting here this far into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we're not the only ones in this position too.
Yeah.
A lot of people, we've got our carrying costs are high right now. Mortgage rates are high. Like there's a lot of expenses that nobody expected to stay where they are.
Yeah.
I think everybody thought it was going to come down by now, and they haven't. They've actually kind of, things start to get a little better, and then they creep back up, and it's like, just can't get a break when it comes to interest rates, which is kind of holding the economy back. And it's definitely a battle for a lot of people right now. So
yeah,
just trying to hold on and just figure out what can we do to get through and just kind of weather the storm until things turn around. My business, I'm still working 40 hours a week and putting
more
in the
than
time.
that.
No.
Yeah, you've been going in at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but I don't work till. Yeah, but it's not. I'm not working 40.
Wow.
I'm 40 hours at best right now at that business. But I mean, I'm still working full time.
Yeah,
and working my butt off and not making anything. I haven't taken a paycheck since December of last year.
That's what I think is so frustrating. Is maybe this is just me thinking this, but thinking that like if you're going through a hard time that you're not, it's because you've like lost your job or your job has like, you're not physically working as much, but you are still working just as much. You're just
I think that's just
for free.
I think that's the trade-off of being an entrepreneur and having a business. Like I'm the last one to get paid because the business has got to survive. Like to me, it's more important to make sure the business survives rather than just sucking the business dry, which a lot of people will do is they'll suck the business dry and let it fail. And then they got nothing and they got to start over with something else. But I know that the business is a valuable business and the clients and the business is still there. It's just everyone's got tight budgets right now and everything's just like not what it normally is. So I'm working more because I don't have the help that I had to.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm taking on a lot more roles as finances kind of shrunk. I had to take on more roles. So I'm working a lot more in the business than on the business, which is not great, but just to try to make sure everything holds on and survives. And because I know it'll come back and then it'll start spinning off, good profit and a good income, but just trying to push through and get to that point.
We're just trying to buy ourselves time. One day at a time.
Yeah. And then, we're building other things too. So our rental properties and our co-hosting, like we got all these things that are starting to build up. And, eventually it's going to get to where we'll be fine, but we're just kind of in a lull in the cash flow arena right now.
Yeah.
But we are finding the strength to hold on, or whatever the song is.
Like I said, you're definitely better at it than I am. It's been harder on, not that it's been harder on me. I don't handle it as well as you do. So,
yeah. And I think we've talked about this the other night. Like, I think part of it is that
the circumstances,
like on the financial side of things, like I've been through this. Like I grew up like this. I grew up very poor and didn't have didn't have much and went through a lot of these situations. And, I've been homeless multiple times and as a young kid. And
Yeah.
so I've been through that and seen that. And I think just going through that before kind of has conditioned me and prepared me to where I have a better outlook. And like, we still have a roof over our heads. We're still eating. It's not like it could be worse. And I know it can be worse because I've been in
You've
worse.
been there.
I've been in worse situations.
Yeah.
So I think it's all like relative to your past experiences.
I have not experienced that. And so for me, this has been extra hard. Just not having that.
Yeah. So next time we go through this, you'll be good.
Oh, don't say that. I don't want there to be a next time with this.
Just a quick disclaimer. The information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Your individual circumstances may differ and require specific strategies not discussed here. Now, let's get back to the show. One of the things I wanted to talk about, though, is where you live, I think matters a lot. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean that you have to have this fancy like mansion or have a crazy house or anything, but just living where
locationally.
Location wise, living where you want to live, I think is way more important than having a nice house. We live in Orange County in Costa Mesa. We're close to the beach. We're about a 10-minute drive to Newport Beach. I think just being able to see the beach, we were driving home from Oceanside tonight and just seeing the sunset.
Most of the drive is on the coast.
Just the ocean. Just having that for us, I think, kind of creates a calm and, even
being
though
able to go there easily, walk there.
Yeah, even though we don't go to the beach very often, we don't actually go there.
We pass it daily. I mean,
we pass it, we see it, and just knowing that it's there for us, for both of us, I think that just kind of gives us a calm and there's a lot of places we could live with what we have. If we were to just pull up and move, we could have a very nice house and live very comfortably.
I was just talking to a friend of mine in Oklahoma that just bought this house. What did I say it was? Like 4,000 square feet on an acre for $600,000. And her friends thought she was insane for having a house to pay a mortgage that high. That was like $3,200. And I was dying inside. But it's, it's true. It's like we definitely pay to live here.
Yeah. And that's for us. It doesn't mean that your friend in Oklahoma is making a bad decision.
No. It's,
maybe that's
they
where
love
she wants
it.
to be.
That's their family's there. Their friends are there. Like she's from there. But it's just crazy to think like it really is so hard out here.
Yeah. So where we're doing this in one of the most difficult places in the world to do what we do. And, it's tough, but like I would rather live in a, not so nice, smaller house here than moving to Texas or Idaho or something like that and having this big house. I just think that for our mental health, I think that being where we're at makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And again, this is for us because we're beach people.
Yeah.
We kind of grew up on the West Coast and this is
I've
what
never
makes us happy.
Lived further than a 12-minute drive to the ocean.
But for somebody else, that's wherever your happy place is, like wherever you want to be, whether
mountains,
it's
a lake.
Whether it's a neighborhood that you want to be in, or even being in the neighborhood you want, but having I talked about the crappiest house in the nicest neighborhood.
Yeah,
like
we're big on that.
The neighborhood that you want to be in, you'll be happier regardless of how nice the house is in the place that you want to be in.
Yeah.
And I think just mentally, that's so
That may
important.
be an unpopular opinion, but that's definitely how we feel.
I don't think it is. I think people. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think it's an unpopular thing to talk about because I think there's a lot of people that are willing to sacrifice where they want to be in the house that they want to be.
Yeah.
I think people put more importance in that, and I think a lot of those people. Maybe I know that there's people that regret that, and as they say, they end up going back because they just weren't happy. They didn't have their friends and family, whatever, to wherever they moved to have that house. But they sacrificed where they wanted to be just to have the material thing, the house, the big house, and have that. And it's just, you're just not as happy.
Yeah. It's like that other song. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. New York, New York.
New York, New York. See, I know that song. Yeah. I'm like, that one sounds familiar.
I was like, you have to know that song.
That one.
But it's true. I feel like if you can...
I think that applies to California too.
Yeah, it 100% applies to California. If we can make it here, we know that we would be solid to make it anywhere if we ever did want to make that jump. And doing it in the hardest place to start out is...
I mean, we could probably sell everything now and go. There's plenty of places we could go retire and never work a day in our life again.
It's tempting right now. I'm not going to lie.
You can go. There's plenty of places like, the Midwest and South where we could have a very nice house.
Yeah.
And literally never have to work again and just live off of what we've built.
There's no part of you that feels tempted to want to do something like that?
No, because I don't think we'd be happy. We would just be like, I just want to go back to California, or not even California so much, maybe other places, but the places that we want to be are close to the water, and those are the expensive places. So.
But if it freed up the income to travel to those places and do the things you wanted to do.
But you're still going home. And
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I guess. So let's say you travel 6 months out of the year, but the other 6 months that you're not traveling, you're just miserable.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a knock to people that live in those places, because some people, that's their happy place. But for us, I think it just wouldn't. I don't think that we'd be happy.
Yeah.
So if you're on the fence about what to do in a situation like that, like debating where to live versus what to live in, for your mental happiness, like where you live is definitely going to be more important.
Yeah, I agree.
And obviously the goal is to live in a nice house where you want to live, but starting out just getting to where you want to be at geographically, and then building from there. But it's this has been proven. There's been studies on this, and it's always the
location is better.
The location, that's why you hear in real estate, location. That's why there's so much emphasis on that, because people are happier when they are living where they
and I mean, honestly, in just a month's time, we haven't even been in this house a month. It's been 3 weeks. I loved the last house so much, right? Like, loved it. But the location, I like where we're at now, this neighborhood.
Which is funny because the neighborhood that we just finished this project house in, that we just moved from,
supposed to be
that's where everybody wants to be, and that was supposed to be like a really sought after neighborhood.
Demand,
and it is like, houses are really expensive because people really want to be in that neighborhood.
They're going for asking because the demand is so high,
and I don't really know why, because for us it wasn't really.
I think we were on a busy street, and I do think that played a large role.
Yeah, but that street, the houses are going for, they're selling for a lot. Look at the recent comps. Like,
yeah, that's true.
People just want to be in that neighborhood for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, it's a golf cart neighborhood, and so there is kind of that aspect to it, which you don't really see.
But it wasn't
in neighborhoods, but
the type of community that I would expect. What I had envisioned when we moved in. I
thought we were gonna like it a lot better. And just walking, like, it wasn't as. It's very pockety.
Yeah.
A lot of pockets, and
it's
like. It's turning over, so I think it's going to be, maybe people just want to get in there now while it's still affordable. Somewhat affordable.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of houses that haven't been redone, are still original owners, and they're just, a lot of deferred maintenance, and so it's kind of hit or miss. There's not, I wouldn't say there's really a street in there that's just really nice, like where everything's been turned over. It's just, it's like
and
every 10th house is really nice, but it's all throughout the neighborhood.
That's where other pockets of neighborhoods, it's like, oh, this street is a really good street, or that street.
I don't
really
feel like
nice.
that's really established in that neighborhood. There's some really nice houses in there, and I would say one of ours is definitely one of the ones that people talk about. But the houses surrounding it, it's just that haven't quite been turned over yet from original owners. And they're still not all of them are original owners, and people have redone houses or kept them up nice. But then you've got ones that are just kind of like, but overall, like. It's just very pockety, and it hasn't really been stabilized. So I think in another 10 years, as more of those original owners pass on and and those properties turn over and get redone, I think it's definitely going to be a much more sought after neighborhood because it'll be kind of like some of these other places that have been redeveloped fully, where every house has been redone, or like the majority of them have been redone.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, the neighborhood that we're in now, I lived here 10 years ago, and then all the neighbors still live here.
Yeah.
Everybody's still, like, it's all the same people on the street, with the exception of a few houses, but a lot of the neighbors are still here. So it's kind of like, and it's a more of a tight knit neighborhood.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a busy through street like the last one we were on. So it's,
yeah. But just people know a little more about you. I feel like the last neighborhood, people just weren't as connected and just didn't really know what was going on.
Great, like, next door neighbors. Our actual next door neighbors were great, but everyone else was just kind of like, hi.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You didn't really get to know them at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So another one thing I want to talk about, and again, this is all kind of part of just holding on. We're trying to better our lives, put ourselves in a better headspace while we're going through this. So, when things are better, we're just chugging along and have everything kind of put together, I guess you could say. But another thing I want to talk about is just the way you look physically and how you feel, and just your overall health. You've done a really good job through the years of having kids and going to the gym, doing mostly Pilates, and doing that up until you give birth, and then you're back at it almost as soon as you get cleared, to start working out again. And people are always like, "You just had a kid?" Like, I always hear that. And I'm very lucky, I will say. I do appreciate it.
You are.
But it takes two to make that happen, because when you've got kids, like, I gotta.
It's a teamwork.
Yeah,
for sure.
you're gone for an hour and 15 minutes. I've got to get the kids up, because you usually do this in the morning.
Yeah.
Before I get busy, so
some hectic mornings.
I got to get the kids up and get them going and get the day started. And now it's gotten harder. Now it's 4 kids that juggling at once. But I think that's important for you to have that time to do that. And so I've never told you no, you can't go. I mean, when I've got like work things, or we'd like check our schedules, but I've never said no. I don't want to watch the kids and give you that time. No. So I've always tried to give you that space to be able to go and do that, because I know that that's important to you. And I think mentally it helps a lot with your mental state of mind when you look and feel good.
It does. We've had to stop that because of the financial situation, and I have felt it mentally a lot this time around. I felt it towards the end of my pregnancy, and then now.
You're still working out. Well, maybe not as much, but
only because I got that offer from ClassPass.
Oh.
So I have like a very small window to do some workouts, and after that's done, I'm back to not doing it. And my hat is off to the parents that are really good about working out at home. That is really, really difficult for me. It's hard because,
well, so it's difficult to do to start.
Yeah.
But when you have kids, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Because I used to work out at home a lot, and I was actually pretty good about it, but I can't, like, with the kids, and then they come out, I can't do that anymore.
I mean, I think people say, like, we'll just get up earlier. Well, there's something in children, if you don't have them, that, like, they know when you're up, like, they sense it. Like, I was doing that when I was pregnant, and I would be there, I just get my stuff set up, and one of them's downstairs, and they want to get in there with you and they want to help. And like, that's what I'm experiencing right now is, I lay out my stuff to do a workout, and Mommy, I want to do weights with you, which I love. I love that they see that. I love that they see me working out to be strong and healthy, and that they want to be a part of it. But you can't get anything done with it, because it's like, well, I want to turn with the weight. I want to lay on the mat. I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, and that was a nice 5 minutes. not even a warm up. But I will say, like, I'm definitely feeling that mental side of it too, of not having that time to go. And like, there's something about being outside of the home and having an uninterrupted hour to do a workout is just so much different.
Yeah,
So
I haven't worked out since the day before Isla was born.
hard. So
2
not
kids
that.
ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
So it's been almost 2 years, and I haven't worked out. Period. Just not at all.
Yeah.
And I just haven't gotten back into a routine that allows me to do that. Now I was really busy with working on these houses and didn't have time to do it on the weekends, and working full time and then working through the weekend and really putting in 70 hours a week on all the stuff that I had going on. So it was definitely more difficult. But before we had our third kid, I was getting up. I mean, I still had to get up early with kids. I still have to get up early and get home before they wake up. And I would get up at 4:30. I'd actually probably get about 4:15, I think. And then the class I was doing, it was a CrossFit class, and it was starting at 5. So it'd go 5 to 6. And then I would get home, 6:15, 6:20, and I'd be able to make a protein shake and jump in the shower before they got up. But that's a lot to do before 7 o'clock when the kids get up. And
let's be real, they don't actually get up at 7. One of them's up by like 6:15 every day. Yeah,
but it's I mean, we don't feed them until 7. Like, we don't do anything. Like, no, we're not doing anything until 7.
Your light is not green yet.
Yeah.
You do not have the green light to get up yet.
Yeah. But that having that time, that hour to just put your body through that and kind of reset for the day, I definitely miss having that, and I definitely feel like my stamina is way lower now. My energy levels are lower, and I know that I need to figure this out and get into it. But the problem is with 4 kids, trying to wake up early when you're out of it. I get home from work, I put the kids to bed, we feed them, get them to bed. I'm just exhausted. I fall asleep in their bed most nights, or if I don't, I make it to the couch and then I fall asleep.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to wake you up and drag you to bed, and
then to get up at 4. And right now we've got a newborn, so right now it's not really feasible. But we got a newborn that's still waking up. Although the newborn usually wakes up about 4:15, so I could probably use him as my alarm clock.
You probably could,
and then just not go back to sleep and start working out again. But I want to make sure I can do something sustainable and continue on. But just getting your body to a point where you're happy with where the way you look and the way you feel, like mentally, that makes a big difference. A lot. Yeah, and I think it helps when you have that. It helps you get through other situations, and it doesn't seem
that's
as
very
bad
true.
Because you feel good about yourself. Maybe
that's part of why it's like affecting me so much right now, is because I don't have that outlet also.
So just imagine if we also didn't live where we wanted to live. If we lived
like adding that into it.
50 miles inland, and it was hot, and we're not where we want to be at because it's cheaper to live inland, and we're not working out, and we have no money. Like, I mean, at least we have one thing going for us.
Yeah. I will say too, it's along the lines of like getting yourself put together and feeling your best. Like, another thing we had to cut out is and I've talked about this in another episode, but I've had to stop getting my nails done, which might to a lot of people sound very materialistic and silly, but that was something that was very important to me since I was 15 years old. I had a job, whether babysitting or when I started working retail, and I got my nails done religiously every 2 weeks. I was a psycho about it. I always I love looking presentable, and having clean, nice nails was so important to me. And so that was a really hard one when we had to stop being able to do that. And so just finding alternatives. And I went through like every type of press on, glue on, gel at home set. And I've tried them all, and I found the one that works for me now. And, I will say I do like the time that I'm saving, because it's more time that I can be home and not having to be away. And, it is really nice to have just like a quick manicure done, and they look pretty good. I have been happy with them, but that, just these little hurdles. And I think just finding alternatives that you can do that are cost effective, kind of like what I do with Fashion Pass. Like, I haven't bought an outfit or a piece of clothing since I've done Fashion Pass, which, if you don't know about it, I will say it is the best thing around, especially if you are in a pregnancy or postpartum phase of your life,
or don't have a lot of closet space,
or don't have a lot of
because
closet
you've gotten
space.
rid of a lot of stuff since
I
starting
have
this.
cleaned out a lot, and it is like my tried and true, my favorite rental. I've been doing it for like maybe like two years now. And so, yeah, it's gotten me through 2 pregnancies and postpartum phases. And there's something about, like, I was having a really rough day. I don't know what day it was, like 2 weeks ago. And I had sent my package back, and I had like all my own personal clothing waiting for my new package to come. And I just felt like, I'm 2 months after a baby. At that point, I was like 6 weeks, and nothing fits good. And I just wasn't feeling good. And that package came, and I put something on, and it just made me feel really good. And it fit, and it was great. And it's the best. I absolutely love fashion bags.
Yeah, that's a.
If you haven't done it,
that's a good tip.
do it.
Like,
find ways to still do the things that you want to do and that make you happy in a more cost-effective way. I think that's something that we've had to become really good at. And you know what? We've always been, you especially, I've learned that over the years, but I think being able to find, like we do it with the houses, right? Like when we talk about design, like we find these high-end things that we like to do, but we're trying to do them on a more cost-effective way. It's the same thing that
Like
you're doing in your
the
personal
closets.
life. Yeah, like the closets, exactly.
Yeah.
But doing it in your personal life is no different.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important. And those days that I do that, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. So here's something interesting that I heard on a podcast recently. Is actually the Rich Summers Report. He was interviewing this bodybuilder or this trainer, and they were talking about, so this girl that was training used to be a bodybuilder and now does personal training. They were talking about abs and how like doing crunches don't really get you abs. That's not going to do anything for you. And they said that, or they looked it up, and the statistics for men anyway, for men in the U.S. That have visible six packs, what do you think the number, like
the percentage?
Not the percentage, but it was like 1 in how many U.S. men have a visible six pack?
1 in 10,000.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think you see them that much.
See, I didn't realize that. It was actually 1 in 25,000.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's like Costa Mesa has 100,000 people. It's like 4 people have visible abs in Costa Mesa. Now you take over the U.S. And
I was going to say, definitely not in this area.
Higher concentration here. But yeah, 1 in 25,000. I was like, oh. And I do not have six pack right now, so I'm not part of that 1 in 25,000. But
you usually do.
2 years ago, before the 3rd kid, I definitely did. So I'm like, huh. So I definitely
is that what's sparking this
a little bit. Well, I listened to that podcast on the way home, so I was just fresh in my mind. But yeah, I'm like, oh, like I would not be that hard because I haven't really gained weight. I've got a little bit of a dad bod going on right now, but no, my 5-year-old has more of a dad bod than I do. Actually, I was giving him a hard time about that earlier. I've actually done pretty good for not working out, like just working on houses, I guess. I'm still like burning
you're still
calories.
doing physical labor,
but
it's just not.
But it's a calorie thing too. Like I truly believe that the number one thing for not gaining weight is just your calorie intake versus what you're burning. And I've always said that, but I guess I just keep burning calories and
abs are made in the kitchen.
So they were talking about if you just peel off all your layer of fat, that everybody has abs. Everybody has abs.
Yeah, because the muscles are there.
The muscles are there.
It's just whether they're defined or not, which is...
Well, no. Whether they're defined or not, but they're there. They are defined. They're just covered up with layers. Because your stomach's like where you like, your body like stores
So then
fat.
wouldn't you say that how your diet is, how you're eating, that's why they say...
But they're not like big abs. They're just, little because they're just muscles if you're not actually working them.
Right.
So they were talking about how like doing crunches, this doesn't build your abs. You got to actually do strength training on them.
Yeah.
But that's I want to get my
six-pack back. Eat a lean clean diet.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps.
Yeah.
But so is my little motivation factor. Be 1 in 25,000 men that have a six-pack.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. Hey guys, if you're finding value or just want to follow along on our journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. That would help us tremendously. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Broke Millionaires and be sure to share with your friends. Now, let's get back to the show.
All right. And then what's the third thing we're going to talk about?
I think just for us, and this is obviously a personal one for us, but just having a strong foundation in faith, I think has, I won't speak for you, but for me, that has gotten, again, I'm not great. It's definitely affected me more than it has you, but I think knowing that this is all a part of something bigger and this is a part of our story is what has really helped me continue to get through this.
Yeah. And I mean, and then we've kind of touched on this before, but like our faith is kind of the building block of our marriage. A lot of couples don't survive what we've gone through and like financial hardships, and I mean couples don't even survive renovations. We do them again and again.
Yeah.
But just having our faith that our marriage is built on, I think, has really helped us to be strong and get through tough times and be on the same page.
And be able to lean on each other when, one maybe taking it harder than the other, which is always me. But I guess me being able to lean on you and
I have those. It's not just you. I just hide it better.
handle it better,
hide it better, whatever. But I still have the days. It's like, what are we doing? Are we doing this to ourselves? What should we be doing something different? Like, because it's hard. It's not where I wanted us to be at this point. I never envisioned being 40 and struggling like this. I also never envisioned having 4 kids, which probably attributes to a lot of the issues we're having. Because the more kids we have, the harder it gets, especially with starting to pay for school now. And these kids eat a lot and diapers and everything. It's just, there's a lot of expenses. But well, if we didn't have kids, this would be a lot easier because we wouldn't need a large house. We could go back to like a 1 or 2 bedroom condo.
Oh, there's so many things that would be easier. I mean, so much of what we talk about that we need to pay for financially is,
well, right, but just where you
95% of it is the kids.
Right, but well, I mean, saying where you live is the biggest expense. Because we lived
in a much smaller place.
Right, so the biggest expense that any family has is where you live.
Yeah.
And the more kids you have, the bigger house you need.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go live in a 1 bedroom condo. I guess you could. It's not ideal.
Yeah.
But I think that probably makes it very difficult in a place like where we live. So I think that's why we don't see big families here as often as you would in other places, other markets that aren't as expensive with real estate.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. I know a lot of families here with 4 kids.
Yeah, but you don't see it like you do in other states.
Yeah, it's still
more cost effective to live.
Rare.
It's a lot harder to do because it's just so expensive for housing here.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I mean, I agree. It's not where we thought we would be. I mean, like we've said, this was kind of our rock bottom, last resort house to come back to. And I don't think either one of us ever thought we would actually come back here. But I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful for, it was definitely the best scenario, best option for what we're going through right now. Definitely the best option. Yeah. It's still our home.
Yeah. And the kids like it and
they do.
They're happy. So that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Downsizing though with a family of 4 is hard, to say it mildly.
Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier. Part of the updates, I forgot about it. A very inexpensive summer fun item you can buy for your kids is a triangle hammock.
Yeah.
So this house,
Would that work though in all yards, or is it just
well, you
because?
have to have trees.
Yeah.
So when I built this house, I or didn't build this house, when I was redoing this house and building out the yard and everything, I planted these 3 big palm trees because I wanted to be able to put a hammock up in the backyard. And these trees are massive now. And I
so
always
big.
had the
I can't
hammock. Like
believe
I
it.
used the hammock daily. I used it all the time. But now back here with kids, now there's 3 trees in a triangle. So I got this, these new hammocks are like these triangle shapes. You're supposed to be able to like put tents on them and sleep on them in the woods and stuff. But I
Oh,
got
really?
this-
I didn't
yeah.
realize that.
So I have this triangle hammock, and I didn't get the nice. There's a company that started it, and they're like $700 or $800 or something for these triangle hammocks. But bought the Amazon knockoff for $69, and the kids love it. It's hours of entertainment a day, just putting this hammock up each day. Before I leave for work, they're like, "Oh, can you put the hammock up so we can play?"
Yeah.
And they go and
that is.
eat their snacks and take their toys on it and
That has been great.
watch the clouds. But yeah, it's a $69. We've definitely gotten our money's worth, and we've only had it for like a week.
Absolutely, we have. No, it's been great. You
Yeah.
go out there after work and fits the whole family.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm always a little sketched out when I'm the last one to get on it, but it does fit the whole family.
Has a 600-pound rating. We're good with
fine.
family. Yeah. So if you have trees, 3 trees that you can tie one of these up on, super fun.
You kind of need the right setup though for it, tree wise.
Yeah.
But
Plant them.
But it is good. It's been great.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, we're gonna start lining up our interviews for August. We've also got we're starting to get requests for interviews, so we'll be getting interviewed. I think it was first week of August that we're scheduled for that. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll share that when that comes out, and hopefully we'll start getting more kind of back and forth interviews. I think that's kind of fun to go on.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
We've been doing interviews, but to be interviewed, that'll be our first time doing that. So
yeah,
that'll be fun. But if you know anybody that's got a story or a business or some sort of investing and think it would be a good fit for the show, reach out to us and we'll see if there's some synergy there on the story and see if we can get them on the show.
yeah.
But I think we'll probably start doing consistent interviews again in August, pending baby sleeping and being able to work with our nap schedules and everything.
Yeah.
It may end up being towards the end of August or even, in September we got school starting, so it'll be a lot easier.
That'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, so we're going to start trying to work these in August again, but September we'll be doing a lot of interviews just because we've got kids.
Yeah.
Half the kids will be gone, so it'll make it a lot easier.
Wow, that would be so nice.
Yeah.
And I will say too, not even just from an interview perspective, but if you're going through a similar situation and can relate to what we're talking about, tell us. I think it's, we know people going through the same thing, but I think I am someone who can fall into that category of like, we're the only ones going through this. And so I think it's, that was part of the whole premise of starting this show, was to be able to share our story. And if, hopefully people that are going through this are not feeling as alone. So let us know if you're going through something. We would love to hear from you and just be able to have that open communication. And
wealth building is not easy, especially in hard times, but it's just, you're making sacrifices today for a better future. So just keeping that in mind, holding on, finding strength to hold on.
One more day.
It will pay
I'm singing
off.
on here. This is so embarrassing. I'm going to hate that.
And our neighbors are going to hate it too. So.
I know.
All right. I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
Or tonight. It's late. It's almost, you know what? It's almost the next day. We're almost at midnight.
This is the latest one we've ever done.
Jeez. All right, guys. Get out there and make it happen.
Thanks for listening. This has been a production of Rebuilding the Dream Studios.